So along the way, now the next few years, I mean, did you deal with road bumps? And if you did, how did you handle them personally?
Oh, okay. There was definitely a lot of road bumps. Like, I think us being, very naive and passionate, like you said, we kind of thought within 6 months we'd be a sustainable business and we'd be doing great. We had heard all the advice that we're given that usually it takes about 5 years for a business to really get sustainable. We're like, no, not us. We'll get there in 6 months.
We're passionate.
Yeah. But, I guess we learned the realities of business. Within the next couple of years, it was quite a tough journey. Our first run of bottles arrived at Dan's parents' garage, right? We all got out there and we were so excited. It's our first run of bottles, right? It's our dream becoming a reality right now, and I'm seeing the boys taking it off the line. They're pulling it out with excitement in their faces, and all of a sudden I see their excitement just drop. I'm like, what is going on here? And I would go over to have a look, and all the labels were scrunched up all around the bottle, like to the point where it was unreadable. Like it was really tinily scrunched up all the way around. And so we had to call this distributor that had given us a chance and tell him what had gone on. Unfortunately, there was lots of colourful language on the phone call, and he was like, do you realise that you're asking me to do a national recall? Like, yeah. And he's like, and that ruins big brands, and you're not even a big brand yet. We're like, thanks for telling us that. We realised that. And then he said, I don't give second chances. And it was like really, really hard for us. But thankfully, he gave us a second chance and a third and a fourth and a fifth, because this bottling factory, who was amazing at getting us, I guess, off the ground and somewhere, all of a sudden stopped delivering. We'd call up and be like, what's going on? He's like, the quality control guy was away when we ran your product. We're like, is that even legal? Like, are you even allowed to do that? Like, it was like, because it was just like not, worthy to be put on the shelves. And then, they stopped producing. So about after a year, we had gotten into 350 outlets around Australia. And we've been, starting to really get their new distributors in Queensland and so forth. And we lost 300 of them because the factory had stopped producing in time, and they'd picked up another deal. And it was, quite discouraging, because we're a year in. Yeah. We've been doing still studying our uni degrees, working part-time jobs to live and survive. And we're here trying to get it out there. And we're thinking, surely this idea is good enough. Like, surely we can get it out there, and surely it doesn't have to be this hard and this tough. And I guess something that kept us going is we were working on 2 retail deals. If we'd gotten into these retail deals, we'd be able to get sustainable, get across the country, national reach. We've been working with them one for 3 months, one for 6. And after that time, they came back to us and said our least favourite thing, which is we're not going to go ahead with ThankYou water. But I think the hardest thing for us was they said, we're going to bring out our own bottle of water that funds projects in developing countries. And while we're excited that we're able to inspire them to be able to give money to people who need it the most, at that same time, we were really slogging at this and trying to build a brand and build a movement in Australia. And so we needed as much support as we could. And so it was quite discouraging, because it was kind of like, again, stab in the heart. Like, are we even, is it even worth doing this? I get it. And then we had just so many different things go on during this time. And we were just like, look, do we just high-five one another and go, yeah, we built a well, and just leave it at that? Because within the first year, we'd probably given about just under a 10 grand, or around the 10 grand mark. And we're smart enough to know that it was 5 of us at the time. Between the 5 of us, we could have gone and worked proper jobs, lived much more comfortable lives, and given 2 grand each for what we were doing. But I guess we'd seen it to where it is today, where now we've been able to give 1.1 million in total, and we could see that, it was worth it. But it was this whole journey of having to get there. Well, the thing is, at the time when you're there, you don't know, there's no guarantee you're going to get to the point where you're giving $1 million to these causes, and obviously a lot more in the future. And I think, to me, another, just from you sharing then, and I know myself, even with Raw Courage TV and me getting it off the ground, there's been some big setbacks actually a few times where people have broken promises, where things haven't been done the way they're supposed to be done. And I think anyone who's ever got any enterprise or anything off the ground, whether in the corporate space or entrepreneurial space, whatever, it's very easy to get really disheartened when things don't go to plan, because you work really hard and you feel like we're doing all the right things, we're giving everything to this. And so you can kind of
become a bit disheartened and despondent going, maybe we're kidding ourselves? Did you ever
Yeah.
think, maybe we're kidding ourselves? Maybe, this is just a pipe dream.
Yeah.
And I think it's holding on to that dream and not letting those moments of despondency go, all right, let's just high five each other and walk away, and just going, I am going to see this through, because there really is a need here that needs to be filled. And this idea truly does have merit and legs.
Yeah.
But I think it's just seeing it through those tough times and those setbacks. So for others who are trying to get things off the ground, the reason I share this is, don't expect that it will all go to plan, because nothing goes to plan.
Exactly.